To order, said pledge allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I would start the meeting at 7 o'clock. Could we have a roll call vote?
Mark Smith,
We had planned that he was going to be not here today.
okay. Pat Eisenhardt,
Here.
Dino,
Here.
Richard Rinke,
Here.
and Robert DeWitt.
Here.
Thank you. Does anybody have any additions or problems with the agenda?
I make a motion, we accept the agenda.
Is there someone second?
Support.
And the minutes, has everyone read the minutes? Are we okay with the minutes?
I got them right with me if anybody wants to see them, but
We're
good.
as far as I'm concerned, they're good.
Okay.
All good.
All right, we have all wish to accept the minutes.
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes.
Support.
Any opposed? Nope. Okay, minutes pass. Okay, we're ready for the chief's
All right,
report.
good evening, thanks for coming. At least it's sunny out still, right?
Yep.
7 o'clock and feels like spring is around the corner.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to go through the year-to-date run totals. As you can see, there's a 12-month snap of what we've done over the last 12 months, and we're at 655 calls. In the last 3 months, we've done a record amount of calls for those months. Even though we had the windstorm, we only had like 16 calls because of the windstorm. So right now, we're still about 60 calls over than we were last year. So I don't know it's no rhyme or reason. There's just lots of different little calls there. So we're doing pretty good on calls. Incident summary listing for January and February. Nobody have any questions there? I'll move on. Each one of them for January and February 2017 is before you. Nothing there. Year-to-date run totals and percentages for our members. Everybody's still doing pretty good. Not bad for what we have. We have a couple people that have a few little issues that we're working out, but other than that, it's good. The actual run percentage for participation for members for January and February are there. Our top responder for January was Janine Herman at 76%. And for February, our top responder for that month, there was 2 of them, Janine Herman and Ross Myers. Both those 2 made 58% that month, so good for them.
Jared Borowski made 51.
Yeah, the next pages here are how much the cost per month for the paid-on calls. Any questions of that, I'll just turn those over and we'll go, next page is the profit and loss budget performance per line item. Our total right now is $739 with 91% of the budget or the year, fiscal year completed, and we're at 81% only money spent. That will go up a little bit because I do have an MMR-MA bill to pay for the insurance through liability and coverage for the vehicles. That will probably go up because there's another payroll or 2 in there. So it'll just be about $800,000, and we budgeted $908. So we're doing really well there. There is a couple that you noticed there that we were in the red, but we've made those adjustments in this year's budget that was approved. So next pages are going to be the profit and loss detailed for the last 2 months. If there's no questions with those, we'll move on to the next one, and that is going to be, and fumble through all this, the actual cost recovery. Cost recovery. And as you can see, we were already at $125,000, and I had budgeted or projected $110,000 coming in, so we've met that, so we have a little extra there. So about 125 is good, and we still have one more month of to collect in there. So as soon as Acumed gives us those, we'll have those deposited. And I think we already did a deposit since then, since that report. But the other things here, I will be putting together bid specs for the parking lot at Station 1 here. We have some issues with the asphalt we'd like to repair, so I'll be bringing that to the board probably in May. Also, there's a thermal imaging camera. We call it the TIC. I'm also going to be speccing out for one of those that was also in the capital budget for this year. We just hired a new part-time medic. His name is Adam Ferguson, and he's from Dryden Township Fire Department. He has his medic license, and unfortunately, Dryden does not transport up there, so for him to be able to use his license, he was on, and he was looking around for a job and things, and so he's going to come here and work with us part-time for a while, so that's going to be helpful, having another medic on duty. The township approved the budget last night, so the whole township budget is all approved, so we're all good with that, starting May 1st, or April 1st. And I would like to have a meeting, I'll talk with the chairman about this, but just so you guys are aware, I'd like to continue the meeting in May, but right now, as it looks, cancel the meeting in April. And I'm also looking at doing some studies on Engine 2. I have Pierce Manufacturing come out here and looked and went over the truck to see how much it would cost to refurb the truck and see if that's actually cheaper than they actually buy a new one. I do have another truck scheduled here to buy. I got some stuff before the board for purchasing, but this other engine now, Engine 2, is actually 20 years old this year. So if we can get another 10 more years out of it, and how much money, I'm not really sure, but I will have that going forward here in a little bit. So that's the chief's report. Any questions?
No questions? I would like someone to accept the chief's report as presented.
I'll accept it.
Support?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, now I do apologize, I didn't get the annual report. The next item on the agenda is the annual report. Some of you, Gino and Eileen, have actually got it before the meeting. You guys are just looking at it now. There's a lot of information in here about what we're doing on the fire department. I give you a whole detailed, I've never put one of these together yet. I thought it was really pertinent that we do. So what I'd like to do this time is just make sure that you guys look through that, and then in May, when we come to meet again, if there's any questions, there's a lot of really good information, exactly what we're doing on the fire department here. And stats, real stats that we've collected through Firehouse and all that stuff. You know, just giving you one idea here, time of call, incidents per alarm time. The majority of our calls are from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. When 7 years ago, when I took over as chief, I had an argument with somebody, and I said, I'll bet the farm there's more calls at 8 p.m. and to 8 a.m. No, I was totally wrong, and it's been consistent in the last 7 years that most of our calls happen from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And you would think that the opposite, because most of our people go out of town and go to work, right? But it doesn't. For some reason, it's 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Do you
Really
think it's
strange.
because of the traffic?
No, I think it's just because the older people that are home and sick, and we transport them, and issues, and just all kinds of that kind of stuff. So 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. is most of our calls. I don't and it's been consistent in the last 8 years that I've been looking at the data. So yeah, it's really strange, and you'll see how different that is. Day of the week call, you know, that's pretty. Sundays 73 and Saturdays 99. So it's pretty close, right? It doesn't really matter what day of the week, but it does matter the time. As you can see, the next page, just flipping over real quick, the 5-year overtime, we had, in 2014, we had $16,000 in overtime. I looked at that, and we came back down, and we've implemented a couple different things. In 2015, we went down to 11. 2016 was 10,000 in overtime. So I dropped that down. I actually saw that year and said, wait a minute, we're doing something different, and come back and we put some policies together to help eliminate the overage on overtime. Participation hours by activity, again, it gives you an idea. Assist, MVA is motor vehicle accidents, medicals, and how many hours of medical standby, inspections, fire, and fire standby. It gives you an idea of how many hours. As you can see, the majority is medicals, which we all knew that. I've been telling you guys that for a long time.
Historically, it's been
Yeah,
medicals.
and that's
Yeah.
exactly what. So the next page, if you just turn over real quick, and that's just the medical calls, what kind of calls, medicals we have. That's the pie chart there. And then our mutual aid response by department. You can see Dryden, we gave one, and we received one from Dryden. Oakland, we gave 38, we received 3. We gave 29 to Oxford and received 6. 1 to Washington, we received none, and then Orion as well. We received 1, and they asked for 0. So give you kind of an idea there on our mutual aid calls, who's asking. Then there's a letter from me just kind of explaining that. And then the next few pages, if you remember the last few years, we've been working on something called Project ER we came up with, and that helped streamline our time at the hospital and our whole medical call. And that just, again, talks about that. We have 1 year data, 2015. This is actually 2016's data. And our time of call was only 3 seconds longer than last year. So we've continued to maintain that call time, total call time of, 68 minutes. So that's not bad at all.
Hey, Jerry, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Provider impression summary. It says 24% in the pie chart.
Yes.
Am I missing something here? And then it says 72 under trauma, the same color.
It's a little darker red, or where 24 is a peach color.
Yeah, it's like a flesh color, yeah.
Yeah, flesh color.
Where's that on in there? I don't see it.
That's trauma, 72 of them. So that's the actual number of calls we had, and that's the percentage of it.
Really?
Yeah. And
Okay.
trauma could be anything from, an MVA to, slicing your finger to crushing your toes to, anything like that at home or car or whatever. Yeah, so trauma does make up a lot of what we do. A fall, a fall would be trauma, stuff like that, yeah.
Yep, I understand.
So again, Project ER is something we worked out a lot here. We broke down, what I did is I broke down the timeline. We went through this before, but it's all in here again. And then here's all the data pages to support that. And just so you guys know, there's another fire department doesn't do a time of patient on board. So what we do is we go to the scene, we treat the patient, we get them in the back of the ambulance, and I document that time. Because I figure that's our ER, and I want to document because I don't want to treat the patient twice, right? I go in the house, we treat them, we move them, and then we were treating them again. It was a lot of time wasted there, right? So then we expedited that, and just documenting that time expedited and shortened the whole call. So really pleased on how this has worked. We had 2 years of consistent data, and it's completely the same. So
How do you
we're doing
document that? You
something
got
good.
a clipboard and a document you fill out as you go through it? How's it done?
The time,
Yeah.
all through dispatch. When we're on the air, we document the time, and we say, dispatch Addison patient on board. And then they document that time for me. And then I know from the time of the call to that time, patient's on board. And then I know how long I was in the house treating the patient, and then when we go en route to the hospital, I know how long that time was too. So then I fragmented the timeline, right? So then I can check and measure it.
You usually say we arrived at the hospital.
Yep.
And then you document that part, and
Exactly, and
you
then
go into the
the
yard.
next page is here in 2016, I have who transported, what level it was, A is alpha, how long it was, the patient on board was 12 minutes, time we got there. They were at the hospital 23 minutes, they had 2 people and they went to Troy Beaumont, and they had a drug box to replace. So it's just that, all that stuff is documented in here. So anyway, take a look at that. There's some other good stuff in the first part of it. It tells about grants and our capital summary, staffing issues, our urgencies on activities to be completed in the station, and then all the other calls. So all of this data, I felt it was important to show the fire board why I'm making decisions. It's totally based really on what I see and what I gather of data. So just so the fire board is aware of that.
Any questions? We'll look over the annual report and report back in May on what we have found or if we have any questions. at
Yes,
the time.
please.
And now we're at purchasing and specifications.
Yes, and if you remember when we were going through the budget, we had talked about purchasing a new engine. We had put money aside, $490,000 to do so. And I had told the board then that Rochester Hills had put out a cooperative bid through Mitten, and we wanted to jump on that and take advantage of the savings. So we did. So we won't have to go out to bid for that, and that's why I'm bringing forth this before the board tonight to get this approved. And as you've read through the language there, it is a really good deal for a Pierce engine. A Pierce fire engine is by far one of the better trucks out there. And we have proof of that. We have a 20-year-old truck that's still in decent shape. There's hardly any corrosion on it. We've never had any pump issues with it. You know, there's small things that we've all had to fix, and the lights and stuff, because that truck is an LED, and now the new LEDs eliminate a lot of that stuff. But there's little issues with valves we have to replace from sand and all that other stuff, but not anything really major with that truck. The
Jerry,
chairs
what's
have all
the highest risk item on that truck?
The what?
What's the highest risk item not to work on that truck?
The highest risk item probably to somebody getting hurt, or
The highest
truck-
risk item on the truck if it doesn't work,
Probably the pump.
the pump.
Yeah.
And what's the maintenance records in the pump?
All the time we have them. Yep, it's maintained
Been
all the
checking
time.
out, okay,
Yep,
okay.
and they're
What's the-
certified every year.
Has the truck ever been, truck's been certified within the last 6 months then, right?
Yeah, oh yeah,
And
yes.
so you want to replace it, or you want to add to the fleet?
Yeah, no, actually, I want to take engine 2, which is the truck that I'm looking at, and moving that to engine 3, and then get rid of engine 3, which is a 32-year-old truck.
All right, so,
And engine 3 is our reserve truck, so I will take engine 2 and put it in reserve, and then the new engine will be engine 2.
I was going to ask you, why would you want to get rid of that?
Oh, I'm not getting rid of it, no, because
So what's the value of the engine 3?
engine 3, you know, why we kept it,
That's the one you're
6
talking about
years ago.
retiring?
That's the one I want to retire. They were only going to give us $25,000, that's why we kept it. Because I said it was worth more to us to keep a $25,000 truck
Sure.
and have it as a reserve truck, and a water supply truck, then sell it.
So if we
that's
buy
why
this new
kept it.
Pierce unit, you're going to keep them all?
I will definitely want 3 engines, yes.
Okay.
We've incorporated it in our trainings and stuff, so yes, I would definitely like to have the 3rd engine.
And is there a warranty program that comes with the Pierce truck?
You better believe there is.
Big warranty, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, where's,
Yeah,
I
one
read
of
it
the best
somewhere.
warranty packages out there.
Okay,
It's
And if somebody wants to look at the whole spec, I didn't put it, it's, you know, this thick.
Yeah.
The whole spec is. I mean, it's pretty intense. We went through it the last few months. The guys worked with us. You know, we had this budgeted really for next year. But every year, Rochester Hills has a 5-year bid on it. So every year, the percentage goes up, okay?
well, my understanding is it's not available for 355 days or whatever it was from the time that you place the order, correct?
Yes,
So you get it a year and so many days from now.
yes. Yeah, and they say right now, they have that time frame on there because the truck is only gonna take like 220 days to build.
I noticed there was some stipulations there that if any standards or regulations change between now and then, we would bear that cost.
Yeah, yep,
Do you
exactly.
anticipate any?
No, I don't anticipate
That
any
you know of.
changes going on right now. Not in this year. I think the NFPA, some of the NFPA standards that are adopted for trucks was just adopted 2 years ago, so, and it always is on a 3-year cycle, so.
So in looking at the documents I read, you'd pay for the vehicle up front.
Well, I was asking for the township, for the board to recommend to the township, yes, that, because we're gonna save $22,747. And right now, that $490,000 in the bank is not getting me that much interest.
Okay.
Why wouldn't we hold some amount back until we?
Well, it's bonded for
Okay.
free. Pierce is bonding that money and stuff for free anyway, so, the money is not gonna work for me keeping it. And our money of $400-some thousand, $453,000 is gonna do more if I pay that $22,000 up front. It's almost $23,000.
Are they presenting you with a contract?
Yeah.
And then
yes.
who signs it, you or the township supervisor?
Typically, I've been signing them, and the contract is just moving forward, but it's approval by the board by resolution, so, yeah, the board is the ultimate approval.
The lawyer look at it too, the
Oh,
contract?
yeah, that's not a problem.
I have one more question
Yep.
for you. I don't mean to be a pain in the butt.
Oh, that's good, this is a big deal.
So what is the next major piece of equipment outside of this one we're gonna need, and when will we need it?
The ambulance next year, and it's $160,000, I have budgeted for that. And we have most of that money already saved away.
Are we using both the ambulances now, our reserve ambulance plus that one because of all the calls?
Yeah, we don't have a reserve ambulance. We have two ambulances that are a Bravo and an Alpha, and we do use those. Yes, on Saturday, we had both of them out, we had to call Oxford for help.
Yep.
I mean, we've been having a lot of back-to-back calls, so yes, we do use both of those ambulances. As soon as one goes out of town, the other one's manned and ready to go for the next call.
There,
So,
okay.
and that's the importance of Project ER, is to minimize those ambulances being gone out of the township as long. So, again, the Pierce here is, we save $59,000 on the mitten, which that's really nice, that savings. And then we have the $22,747 if we decide to pay everything up front. And then it comes to $443,391. Then we had added on the hydraulic hoses and reels in the back for our hydraulic tools, extrication tools, $10,000 back onto it. So that actual price, and the verbiage in the letter here that I got before you is, $453,478.
Do we need to make a motion on this?
Yeah, and if you don't want to take advantage of the $22,000 and pay the payment up front, it would be $476,225. So that is strictly up to the board, if they want to do that or not.
Any discussion about
Well,
paying it up
Do we have
front?
to do this in two phases? One, we agree that we should get it. Two, we should go for the,
Exactly. One,
Okay.
we have to say that we're not taking bids because of the,
Cooperative bid through
Right.
Mitten.
right.
let's lay them out. Let's get it done.
All right, then I need a motion to not go out for bids on this because of our cooperation through Mitten. You make the
Support.
motion
Support.
and you support.
No, it meets the ordinance, yes, you could say that, yeah.
No, I mean, we're gonna skip the ordinance because you're not going out for bid.
No, we already did go out to bid, though, they did. We already fulfilled the Addison Township bid process
Oh, okay.
in the ordinance,
All right.
because Rochester Hills did all that. We're just jumping on board with it.
Piggyback.
Yeah.
Like, it's exactly like how I buy the command car through the county.
Right.
Same exact thing.
All right. Need a roll call vote on that?
I'm sorry, we were talking, she
talking.
didn't catch you guys, so if you could say it
I'm
one more
sorry,
time.
He made the motion, he supported it.
Who made it?
I made the motion, and we got
Richard
support.
made it. And Robert, and what was the motion?
Motion was that we accept the bid as presented.
Okay.
That
We're not going outside.
we're not going outside Mitten for bid purchasing and advertising and so forth.
It fulfills the township ordinance of the bid process.
Okay. cool.
Now, we need to make this clear, too, that we agree to the price with the recommendation of the board that we get the discount.
Exactly, whatever way the board wants.
Correct.
It's not, it's up to me. I just will tell you that there is no way that I can keep $490,000 in the bank and get that much money.
No.
I'm telling you that right now.
There's
I
not-
got
they don't know if
$3,000
enough
last year.
interest.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, we'll need a roll call vote on this motion.
That's the first motion.
the first one.
Richard, can I read this back to you? So it should say, recommended the township board to accept the bid as presented, as it fulfills the bid process?
The bid
Process requirements.
Ordinance, yeah, the bid process ordinance, yep.
Okay,
And we can go through, yeah.
is that good?
Yep.
Okay. And then we'll do roll call. Okay, we've got Pat Eisenhardt,
Yes,
Gina Malaya.
Yes.
Richard Rinky,
Yes.
Robert DeWitt.
Yes.
all right, now we're looking for an motion to accept the bid as the chief has presented it to us with the payment up front.
All right, so let's get the,
I actually have it in here for you guys if you want.
It's right down at the bottom, isn't
let's
it?
get the bid was
Coming out of
from,
the capital account. Somebody wishes to,
I'll make this motion
all right, great.
out of the capital account 304-974-000, with the understanding that we will pay the whole amount up front to receive the payment discount of $22,747.
as presented in,
As presented to the board.
Right,
Yes.
right.
And the total cost with that discount will be,
I just closed it.
You said that.
you just read it off.
You said-
I just read it off, didn't I?
Yep.
Yes.
okay, and all you got was the,
Yep.
all right. We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll support it.
Thank you. Do you need a roll call vote?
Sure. Pat Eisenhardt,
Yes.
Gina Malaya.
Yes.
Richard Rinky,
Yes.
Robert DeWitt.
Yes.
All right, we don't have any SOGs, at least
No, I
I
do
didn't
not.
have any in my packet. All right, so
I
now,
keep that open just in case something comes up, time I give you guys the stuff, but yeah, no SOGs for tonight.
all right. Public forum, do we have any public forum?
Well, I got to say that I know you guys have been really, really busy because you've been keeping me up all night and all day with our radio in our house.
Get rid of the radio.
No, my wife, you won't believe, my wife was on this department for what, 30 years?
I think she would cut somebody if you
She'd
did cut her.
I'd be
cut off
with a
the radio.
high-toned voice if I did that. But, and she listens to that radio faithfully. I mean, it's on
No,
24/7.
we'll leave that just in case, yeah.
And
I just wanted to
she
give-
knows where they're going and where, oh, that's, say Tina, for instance,
Yeah.
you know? That's Tina Wagner's address.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, how do you remember all that crap?
So,
But she does.
Yeah,
all
unfortunately.
right, then I will ask for an adjournment. Somebody make a motion, we adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn
Yes.
the meeting at 7:26 PM.
Will I have a second?
Second.
All approved?
Aye,
Aye.
done.
I think we said.